What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the new Carx Street video. And in today's video, I want to show off some of the weird, random, and pretty sick cars that I have. The idea came about that I wanted to kind of showcase pretty much some of the cars that I have in my garage, but at the same time, I also wanted to showcase the cars that I basically used to do all sorts of these events that were on the map. So, of course, I'm talking about these type of events on the map. So pretty much the story mode version of this game has these random events, very Need for Speed Most Wanted-esque, like, because you kind of do your little races that you have to do. They're kind of like a little bit like Need for Speed Most Wanted. And the reason why I say that is because of the weird intro scenes that all of the actual bosses for each one of these clubs actually have when they come into the frame. Regardless, they're not perfectly the same as Need for Speed Most Wanted, but I'm just saying. So all these clubs, obviously, as you can see, have a car attached to them. So that's the car that I ended up using to complete that club. And I just wanted to showcase that because some of them are actually very, very sick cars. Really, really good. And just if you guys are new to the game and you may be wondering, you know, what cars I ended up using to do my events, and I feel like this is one of those videos where it could kind of help you out a little bit. At the same time, you don't really have to use the same cars that I'm using, but I'm just showing you guys the cars that I use because it just is what it is. So let's go through some of the cars that I have in my possession that I own, and yeah, we'll start off with C1. We'll start with the very, very bottom class, and we'll go from there. Okay, one of the very first cars that I have is this Civic. So basically, as you can see with this thing, I haven't really done much to it. It's pretty much still super low in class. It's still, I don't even think it's maxed out. It's at 140. It sort of is. Visually, I guess the R class isn't maxed out because you can see it's pretty stock looking. And this is in the Wild Juniors, I think, which is right here. This is the one that I ended up using the Civic for. Yeah, I mean, it's not particularly fast in any way, shape, or form because it has to stay in C1, so it has to stay low in class, but I think it handles pretty well. I also left it as a rear-wheel drive, or sorry, as a front-wheel drive, Jesus Christ. I left this thing as a front-wheel drive, and it handles quite nicely. I have absolutely no issues driving this thing fairly quickly. It doesn't really understeer either. It's a good car overall to try and drive. And I want to keep this thing, like I said, as stock as it possibly could from the exterior, because I really, really like the EG Civic. I've always liked the EG Civic. And yeah, I think I remember when I made a video with this guy as well, back in the day. But yeah, the only thing that you can see that's really, really different is the tires themselves. Apart from that, it's very much close to standard. You can see even the slightly extended steering angle as well. You don't really need it, but yeah. Even the interior is pretty much stock. But I wanted to keep this thing, like I said, looking like this, because I think I really, really like the way the EG Civic looks, and I thought it'd be quite fun to try and do a build where, you know, it's kind of basic. Next C1 car is this. This is my very first car in the game. This is the very first car that you actually get as well in this game. You get to pick from a couple of different cars, and this is one of them. And this I kept the entire time and used this as one of the... I haven't done obviously any of the sort of stuff to this car that you can see here. Pretty sure this is pretty much the same as when I had bought it. It's maybe a tiny bit quicker than the Civic. Class-wise, we're still looking at 146, so it's not even maxed out, and then 208 for the R class. So I haven't, like I said, I haven't really done much to this car since I bought it, or I guess since I got it, because I don't know if you even buy one of these cars. I think you just get given one of them. You just get to pick it and then just drive it. So this is the second car which I basically, well, technically this is the very first car that I basically own in this game, but I haven't really done anything to it. And I still have it, and it's still tied up to one of the clubs in the game. So that's what this thing looks like. I'm not really going to go too much into detail with this one because obviously you guys know what it looks like already. Next up is C2, and this is one of my favorite cars that I have in this game. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, this was slightly higher in class, and I think I might have dropped it, but this is C2, and it honestly does not feel like it. It feels like a much faster car. This Evo, I love this thing. As you can see, 199 in C2 and 890, 286 horsepower, 1,436 kilos. It genuinely feels like such a good car. This is one of my favorite cars in the game. I made a video on this thing when I ended up building it, so it should be somewhere on the channel. But the car is fantastic to drive. It genuinely is so easy to control. Acceleration is really good. Comes out of corners very quickly. Handling is amazing. This is like such an easy car to control. Like I said, I made a video on this thing back when I first built it. And I kept this thing as part of one of the clubs as well, because it was just way too good to not use. I'm pretty sure I used this thing and I absolutely annihilated that club. Like, there's no oversteer or understeer. Like, maybe a tiny bit of oversteer, you can turn it in like that. Look how nicely it goes into the corners. Just dab with a handbrake as well, and it just pulls in that front end. It honestly just feels like a really, really good car. Yeah, I love the Civo. It genuinely is one of my favorite cars to drive in this game. It's not particularly fast because, again, it has to stay in C2 because of the club, but I think if you give this thing a little bit more power, this thing is going to be an absolute monster of a car. Yeah, I love the Civo. Very, very, very sick. Very sick. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Next up, I have this Focus, which I didn't actually do too much to this. I'm pretty sure this is very much left... I was gonna say stock. It's not completely stock, but it's definitely... It's definitely not like maxed out or anything like that. You can see. C2, 197, 293, 268 horsepower. It's not particularly fast or anything like that. It still handles okay. I have no issues with the way this thing handles. It actually still is quite decent. This was kind of like one of them where I'm pretty sure I just needed a car. Just any car, really. And I didn't really have any, like, many cars at the time. So I just had this Focus. But I think I won, if I remember correctly. Or I got it as a reward. I don't remember ever buying this thing. But, well, I have this thing. And I was like, you know what, let's use it for one of the clubs. So that's kind of what I ended up doing with this car. It was never like one of the cars that I ended up buying specifically so I could use it for the club or anything like that. I don't really care for the Focus too much. And I definitely would have picked something a little bit more, like, interesting to drive than a Focus ST. But it's not too bad. It is front wheel drive. Like, maybe the tiniest bit of understeer here and there, but it's still decent. I still tuned it, obviously, so it drives as well as I possibly can get it to drive. It's not really, like I said, the most insane or amazing thing in the world, and even, like, you know, modification wise, it still looks very close to stock. So I haven't really done anything there either. So yeah. Anyway, next one. Next up is a car that, again, I used for one of my videos, which I'm pretty sure it was this thing here, and I wanted to try and... Can you hear the engine being different? I don't understand why the engine in this thing is not a V8. I don't get it. It sounds like an inline 6. It doesn't have the V8 in it. It's an E93 M3. Well, that's what it looks like anyway, right? Literally everything on this car just screams E93 M3. There was no reason for me to really buy this thing, but I bought it because I thought it was kind of interesting. And then we heard it for the very first time, and I was like, wait a second, what is going on here with this guy? Why does it sound like a straight 6 and it doesn't sound like a... Like it's got the V8 in it. And I was a bit disappointed, but I ended up keeping the car anyway, and I used it for one of the events in C2. We're pushing a decent amount of horsepower, I think, with this thing. Yeah, 342. But it does weigh quite a bit, 1,750 kilos. But you can definitely tell what how fast this thing is. Acceleration-wise, it's okay. It's definitely better than the Focus. I don't know if it's better than the Eva, but fastness, as in like top speed and everything, this definitely feels really nice. Plus, rear wheel drive is also really, really nice with this car. And it's got Racing Plus tires, which some of the other cars did not have. But yeah, this is quite a nice car to drive. I'm losing my voice. This is quite a nice car to drive, to be honest. Again, I kind of expected to do a build on this thing. I did like a super clean, like, you know, just kind of wheels and tune. Yeah, just send that van to the moon. Wheels and tune. But that's kind of about it. It's kind of what I've done to this car. Like a little lip here and there, and like lip spoiler, but nothing too insane or too crazy done with this car. I was just kind of a bit disappointed with the sound of it. You can tell it just doesn't sound like it's supposed to sound, which kind of sucks. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Now, C3 is where the cars are going to get a bit more interesting. As you can see, we're immediately jumping into a ridiculousness of a car. So this, of course, is the Ford GT. If you listen to it, it doesn't really sound like the Ford GT, and that's because it's been engine swapped. And this is when I first started learning about putting like a smaller engine into like a hypercar and making it super, super lightweight. So this is now all-wheel drive, 246 horsepower, and weighs 987 kilos, and it's in C3. Genuinely one of the best cars in this game. Literally one of the best cars in this game. Handling wise, it is an absolute monster. I mean, even if you go and check some of the leaderboards in this game, you'll still see this Ford GT close to the top of the leaderboards because of how good it actually is. Like, the brakes are insane, the handling is insane on it. It just is absolutely perfect. So again, if you go and you check out some of the leaderboards in C3, if there's some sort of races or whatever, you will notice one or two of these Ford GTs, you know, around the top 10 mark. Well, it used to be that way anyway back in the day, before they brought out even more ridiculous engine swaps. But this is genuinely a fantastic car to drive, and it is definitely one of the best handling cars in this game. It is a monster of a car. I love this Ford GT. I keep forgetting that I have it, and then I go and I drive it and I realize how good it actually is. It's like a proper race car. It really, really is. Yeah, I love this thing. I do love this thing. A few changes here and there as well to the visuals, but nothing too crazy or insane. But it does look really good, doesn't it? It looks like a proper race car. Next up, we have a Supra. This I actually really, really liked. This is one of the, I think, one of my first cars that I actually did a lot of stuff to, if I remember correctly. This is one of the cars that I actually ended up putting some time and effort into doing a build, and I painted it this color. Changed a lot of stuff on it. Taillights, cage, obviously the entire body kit is completely different. Hood, everything on it is different, and I painted it this like golden color. I don't know why I painted it this color. I honestly can't remember, but there is a video on the channel of me doing a build on this Supra, and this was, like I said, one of my first like full-on proper builds on this game, and I ended up keeping it. And I'm using it in, or I have used it in one of the events, basically one of the C3 events. It's pushing 397 horsepower, weighs 1,597 kilos. So it's not particularly insane in terms of performance, but it is very good for going up against AI anyway, I'll tell you that. But at the same time, you know, I don't really want to pick just the most OP cars possible when I'm doing like any of these, you know, races and all that. I just still want to pick some cars that I was enjoying the look at, or the look of, or enjoying the drive and stuff like that, you know, just stuff that I kind of liked, you know, instead of just picking the most OP everything all the time, you know, because I feel like that's just a little bit boring, or it could get a little bit boring if I do that. So yeah, I had the Supra, and I decided to keep it. I liked it. Alright, next. Okay, this is also another one of those like early on cars, I guess. I don't know why I have so many like Targas / convertibles. I forgot about the sound of this thing. I forgot how good this thing sounded. I really forgot how good this thing sounded. So, we have a 30ZC. So basically, yeah, a 300ZX. Very, very sick. 358 horsepower, 1,437 kilos. Rear-wheel drive, of course. I loved this car. I mean, this is kind of just a build for it. Again, it should be somewhere on the channel where I've done the entire build for this thing, but I really like the wheels as well that I picked for this. They're like the R34 like GTR style wheels that I slapped onto this car, and I painted them like chrome. I don't know, there's something about the look of this that I really, really liked, and this is one of the cars that I used for another club in C3. There's like 4 different clubs, I think, in C3, so it's quite a bunch of cars here. And the sound of this was just so surprising to me. Back when I bought it, it still sounds good now. Because there are some cars in this game that obviously don't really have the best sounds. They sound a little bit more like synthesized, too artificial. This actually sounds like it's got that bass to it. It's got the sound of an actual engine. Even if it's not like 100% accurate to the 6-cylinder that was in this thing originally, it does sound pretty good, in my opinion. Alright, well, this is pretty much what this thing looks like. Wide-bodied, crazy body kit on it, pretty much. And then obviously the big light at the back as well. That looks kind of decent. Yeah, overall, really like this thing. I think it's a good looking car. I think I've done a decent job with the build. Okay, and now last but not least, in C3, which is our very first time that we get to have a drift car, and I have this. This is my very first drift car that I've had in this game, and I decided to keep it. You can kind of see a little bit of how poorly my setup is going to be on this thing, because this is like the very first time that I've decided to do like a drift build, and it was on this car. It's my very first time trying it. I think I've done it where I drifted on a wheel with this car as well. So when I was playing on a wheel, yeah, it's not particularly easy or good to drive. I've definitely built some better cars for drifting in this game, and this is not one of them. You can tell this is like an early-esque drift build. Oh my god. But it does get down. It does throw sideways. It does hold angle. This was the whole purpose of this thing, was just to try and keep it as like stock looking from the outside as possible, because that was just the fun of it, and tried to make it like that pretty much, just on purpose. But yeah, you can see how it's not particularly easy to control. It's not my best work, let's just put it that way. But it's still doable. You can still drift with it, and it's still okay. But it's not like, whoa, you know, it's not like anything crazy. But this was, like I said, one of my first builds. I haven't really done too much to it either. You can see there's not really much that's going on from the exterior point of this car. You kind of have, like, even the wheels are like BMW-esque type wheels, you know, like old school BMW wheels. I'm pretty sure they're stock as well. And apart from the tires and like the sunroof, there's not really much else going on with the exterior of this thing. I might refresh this thing so it looks a little bit better, but I do love the E39. I mean, I love the looks of the E39. I always have, always will. So I don't really want to change them too much, especially since this is kind of like my very first like drift build that I've done, and I kind of want to keep it, you know, simple. Next up, we're heading into C4. Some faster cars around this time. Starting off with this thing, I wanted to try and get myself a Nissan Z. Yeah, C4 is definitely where the cars are starting to be a bit more aggressive and a bit more leery, like just more ridiculous cars overall. This is the Z that I have. I'm pretty sure, like I said, I've done a build on this channel, on this car, on the channel before. Pretty much most of these cars that you see on these, I've probably done a build on them on the channel. I don't really know if I have any of them that I haven't, but this is pretty much what my Z looks like. I mean, I just wanted one of these because we didn't really have it in a lot of video games at the time, I'm pretty sure, when this came out. So I was like, this is one that we have in this game, and we have a bunch of customization options available for this thing. I mean, it's wide-bodied, it's got a massive wing, it's got diffuser, splitter, everything. It is, I think, a good-looking car. We even have like a different set of taillights as well for this thing, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it looks pretty decent. This is one of my race cars. It is in C4, obviously. 299. Makes 329 horsepower, but it only weighs 1.1 tons, and it's all-wheel drive. It's a pretty ridiculous car. It's very nice to drive. It's not, like I said, you know, anything crazy just yet, but it is definitely getting to the crazier part of the spectrum, I guess, or the slider. If you wanna have like a slider for these cars, like C4 is getting up there. I still think that Evo, acceleration out of corners, the Evo is an absolute machine. Like, it is a monster. How good it actually is at pulling out of corners, and it's the same with the Ford GT in the lower class. But this overall, it just is very, very good. I mean, for like these tighter corners and everything. If the whole car rotate, and you can see it pulls out of corners very quickly. It's just a fast car, you know. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, we have a Lambo. This is when these came out. I'm pretty sure I decided to get one of these. Yeah, I really like this thing. There's not really much to say about it, apart from the fact that it is rear-wheel drive. This is when I first realized how fun and how good having rear-wheel drive builds on cars is in this game. This feels like a different car completely to the this feels like a completely different car to the Z. I don't know why. It just feels like a much faster, more raw machine. Because it's rear-wheel drive as well, you get that back end to step out. It just, I mean, you can do that, of course, with all-wheel drive cars, but there's just something about this thing. But at the time, I remember how fun and how good it was to actually build, you know, rear-wheel drive cars in this game, because they just drove so nicely. And I absolutely loved them. So that's what I did with this. With this Huracan Evo, I think it is what it, I think it's an Evo. They've done a bunch of changes to some of these, so I don't know exactly what's what anymore, but the Huracan is a mental car. Not really much done to it visually, as you can see. Really not much. I mean, even the wheels I'm pretty sure are completely stock. I haven't really done anything to those, but yeah, the car itself. Rear-wheel drive. It drives like an absolute dream. It's really nice. Did I just swap this thing? I don't actually remember if I have or not. Maybe I have. I don't remember 100%, but it definitely does not seem like it has the V10 in it, or else it would sound a little bit differently, I think. But yeah, I'm pretty sure smaller engine made it way less, and yeah, it's a very fast Lambo. It's really good to drive. Next up, we have another Z. This one obviously made it look a very specific way on purpose. Yeah, it's just a nice car to drive. I'm pretty sure. It wasn't anything crazy with this car. I just wanted to build, and I needed a new car again for another club. And I was like, I think I just had this, or maybe I bought this thing. I can't remember exactly, but it is, as you can see, rear-wheel drive, 324 horsepower, 1,082 kilos. It is. It's just a fun car, really. It still just doesn't feel as raw as the Lambo, though. It's just crazy to me. It just, Lamborghini is just so much better. But it does sound better, I think, than the Lambo. I'm pretty sure this has the standard engine. Naturally aspirated V6. This sounds a little bit more beefier than the Lambo engine. And the Lambo engine was turbo, and this isn't. It's an easy car to control. I made it look a very specific way. If you guys can guess why I made it look like this, and I guess you get a cookie or something. I don't know. But yeah, there's a very specific reason why I made the car look like this. Yeah, I like it. I think it was a fun car and a sick and interesting build to have it done like this. Anyway, let's move on. Next up is my C4 drift car. This is... I love this thing. Yeah, this is one of my better pieces of work. It just is. I love the RX7. To this day, I still think this is one of my better drift builds, or one of my best ones. It's so easy to control, it's so easy to drive. It is genuinely just a joy. Every time I take this thing out, it's just an incredibly easy thing to maneuver around anywhere I want. You can throw it sideways, you can hold enormous angle. Get out of the way, Fiat. I'm a huge fan of the RX7. I absolutely adore the RX7. Not just in the game, but, you know, in real life as well. and it genuinely is showing in this build that I have here as well. It's just an easy car to control, easy car to drive, and I love this thing so much. This is pretty much what it looks like as well, just if you guys didn't really notice it at the very beginning. It's clean. It is such a clean build in my opinion. I've done such a good job with just the body kit, the wheels, everything, the sleepy eyes as well. Yeah, I love the RX7, and this is still one of my favorite cars in this game. If I had to put this in top 5, it'd be easy, like 1, I think. 1 or 2. It genuinely is such a lovely, lovely car to drive. I love it. Very, very cool car. Now this one, the final C4 car, as you can see, is a Mustang, but it is the Bullet Mustang, or that's kind of what it's supposed to replicate. It's the Bullet Mustang, which you get as a reward. Yeah, I forgot I changed the engine in this thing. You get as a reward for doing some of the events, some of the races, like with the leaderboards and all that. Sorry, I was rubbing my eye. But this was, I remember I got this after I ended up building another Mustang, and I'm gonna show you guys that one as well because it's in a higher class. But the reason why this car exists as part of one of my clubs in C4 is because of another Mustang that I have in C5, which we'll get to after this. But that is the only reason why this car exists, because for whatever reason, the Mustang in this game is really, really good. I love the Mustang that I built in C5. This one is not the same. It's not really that insane or that crazy or that good compared to the one in C5. But that's the main reason why I built this thing, is because of the one in C5 was such a, like, I love the one in C5 that I built so much that I decided to, like, you know, build this thing as well. Because I basically just got it for free from just completing the online event. And I was like, you know what, we'll use this because, again, the one in C5 is just so good. I might as well just use one in C4 as well, because I think it'll just be very, very easy to beat any of the AI that I'll be racing up against. These are the stats for this thing. 322 horsepower, 1,113 kilos. Again, it's not particularly insane or anything like that because it's still in C4, but my god, is it a fun car to drive, or a really, really good car to drive. Plus, it has like the bullet like color scheme on it, which looks really good in my opinion. Slightly wide-bodied, as you can tell, and then has like some weird stuff on it. I don't really remember if I've done anything to the visuals of this thing. I don't know if it came like this or not, but yeah, this is pretty much the Mustang that you can get as a reward. I think you can still get it sometimes if the event shows up, so you guys can do it. And now we're off at the C5, and here is the Mustang that I'm talking about. This is the different one, you know. This is the basically the newest version of the Mustang, which you can turn into the into basically a car that looks like the GTD. How sick is that? Full on racing kit, everything on this car, wide bodied to hell. It looks like a mega car, and this is one of my favorite cars in this game when it comes to racing. There's something about it that's just so good. Like, the NISS has like a solid presence as well. Like, it's just really good. Oh god, man, I forgot how good this car is. A little oversteery, but that's a good thing. It's exactly how I want the car to be. The brakes are very good, the handling is insane on it. I love this Mustang. This is the main reason why I picked another Mustang there for C4 as well. Oh god, up on two wheels. That is not what you want to do. I don't know why I just said the handling's so good on this thing, but I ended up clipping a curb and went up on two wheels and ruined my run. Even sideways this thing is actually alright. I mean, I don't need it to go sideways, but it's fast too. Yeah, this was one of my little cheat codes for doing some of those online races. Like, this was so good. So good to race with. I loved it. Get out of the way, Range Rover. Yeah, I like it. I really like this Mustang. It looks amazing too as well. It looks really good. Next up in C5, I think this is my final one, but this is a drift car. This is probably the easiest drift car that you'll ever drive in this game. Well, this or the MX-5 that I built not that long ago in one of my videos, but this feels just like the MX-5. It is like the long tail version of the Viper. I mean, you can get it's the regular Viper basically, but you can get it with the long tail, and it looks like this. And you can make it look like a proper like race car, which I loved. I absolutely adore this version of the Viper as a race car. It looks fantastic in real life, and I wanted to do the same thing with it in game because you can do it. So this is the long tail Viper, which instead of turning it into a race car, I turned it into a drift car, and it is genuinely one of the easiest cars to control. You can send so much angle at it and save it, and it's such an easy car to drive. Let me show you. It's got all the power in the world. It's got, what much power does it have? 540 horsepower, weighs 1,541 kilos. Don't really care about that too much. Just as long as it can make those rear wheels spin and you can hold angles for days, it is just what you want. And this car is one of them that can do that. It is amazing to slide with. This was kind of where my drift tuning kind of started to take shape a little bit more in this game, because I remember it was very poor early on, obviously with the E39 that I had. RX7 was actually much better because I ended up improving the tune afterwards, but this was, I think, the time when my tunes started to get like decent, you know? I was able to sand it sideways. I was able to make it so you can basically hold as much angle as you want without spinning out, really. Like, it's very hard to spin this car out. You can do nice, slow, smooth movements as well when you're sliding. It's just an easy car to control. You just have to remember that this thing does have a lot of power still, so yeah. This was my drift car for C5. For the club in C5. Yeah, it's very nice. It's really easy to drive. Next up, we have another race car, but it is on one of the cars that you get as a reward, if I remember correctly. So this M4 you get as a oops, that's the wrong way to get out. This M4 you get as a reward for doing something, if I remember correctly. So yeah, as you can see, one of my race cars is just basically the M4 that you get as a reward. Pretty nice to drive. Sounds good. Drives really well. Don't really have an issue with this car whatsoever. I think it's a fun and good car to drive. A few changes here and there, obviously visually to it. Massive wing, wide body and all that. But apart from that, it's nothing too insane. Power wise as well, we're looking at 512, 1,479 kilos. It's also rear wheel drive, not all wheel drive, which is also really nice to drive. It makes it just better in my eyes. And it's good. It's a very good handling car. I enjoy driving this thing. And I ended up signing it up to one of the clubs as well. That's how much I like driving this car. There's nothing special, no crazy story or anything behind this car. It's just kind of, I got it for free. And I was like, you know what, let's just test it out and see what it's like. And I ended up using it. I really liked driving it. So I just kind of kept it in the club. Now, this one is up there for me. This is up there as being one of my most ridiculous and just best cars in my eyes. Obviously, I have the Lambo that's next to me as well. That was part of like a little special video that I made back when they added the all the Christmas lights and all that sort of stuff for some of the cars that you were able to do. This obviously came out a little bit later. This 911. It doesn't look like this, by the way, the standard one, but you can put all the GT3 RS parts on it. This is now in C6, and it is technically at the moment my only C6 car. There is another car that I've had that's also C6, or it was. Kind of changed it slightly because I was doing a bunch of stuff with it, but there's just no words to describe how like good this car is. as a Porsche kid, I love Porsches. And this genuinely is one of my favorite cars in this game. It's very hard to choose. Like, if I had to choose one drift car that's my favorite, it would be the RX7. If I had to choose one race car or grip car that's my favorite, it'd be this car. I adore this thing so much. It's an amazing car to drive. I built it really well. This was the car that I ended up building when we got the actual racetrack in the game, the Sunset Speedway track. And it was genuinely so much fun to try and take this car out on the track in this game, to try and drive it. And I realized how good of a car I ended up building and how fun it was to drive. It doesn't even sound that bad either. For a game that doesn't really have the best car sounds, it doesn't sound bad at all. I love the color combo. I love the way you can kind of send it sideways as well if you really wanted to. It's just an easy car to drive. And again, like I said, it doesn't actually come looking like this, so you can change it to make it look slightly differently, but in my eyes, I think we need the GT3 RS. It just is lovely to drive and really it's just a perfect car for me in my eyes. I love it. And now, last but not least, with a little bit of an honorable mention, it is my Audi R8 twin turbo without rear bumper or anything like that. I mean, this was like one of my very first cars in this game that I ended up building like ridiculousness. So I've just done so much ridiculousness to it. It's now in CS, so it's past its like class, right? It's not in C6 anymore. And as you can see, this car is still registered in part of a club because this was at the time a car in C6 that I ended up using for that club. But yeah, then after I finished it and I didn't want to really do much more club related stuff with this car, I did end up going all out really with the customization and kind of the tuning for it and upgrades. It's making serious horsepower now. This was the car that I also used to try and break the 400 km/h mark, because that's one of the achievements that you can get, and you get like a Lambo Diablo for doing that. So I wanted to use this specific car to do it. Why? No reason. I just wanted to see if it would be possible. So that's how I ended up getting this car to be way past the C6 limit that I set on the car before. As you can see, it does slide a little bit, but it is also really fast and very quick. I mean, it's not the quickest car in the game because I think you can get some cars to be even quicker than this, but after changing a bunch of the tune on this car, I made it like this. It's just a mental car. And I love the Audi R8, especially the R8 with the rear bumper. Very, very, very nice. As you can see, I'm still not used to driving it, especially since I've been driving slower cars, and I hop on it and I drive this thing, and I feel like I can take some of the corners at like 300 plus km/h, and I just realized I just can't, so I have to slow down a little bit. We don't really have many cars so far that can do over 350 km/h, like it's nothing. But yeah, as you can see, it's very easily getting to the silly speeds. Yeah, I do really like the R8. Again, this was like one of my very first cars that I ended up like building to like mental numbers, really. And it's kind of what it looks like. Wide body without the rear bumper because it looks insane. And it's also twin turbo, which makes some good noises. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I have had some other builds as well in some of my cars, like on my car list, I guess. But none of those are actually, you know, I mean, most of those are pretty much builds that you guys have literally seen on the channel, like, you know, random weird, crazy builds on random cars. So you guys should have seen those at some point on the channel. If you haven't, then of course go check out the videos on the channel. Should be able to stumble across some of them. But yeah, that was pretty much it from me. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know it's a bit of a longie, but I just wanted to make this video just for a laugh, just to see if you guys would be interested in watching it. Anyway, that's it from me. Again, thank you for watching, everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.